Hi everyone, welcome to episode 6 of Cruise of the Week. And today we're talking about all things to do with Caribbean cruising. And today I'm joined by one of our connoisseurs, Jason. Hi Jason.
Hi, James.
You well, mate?
Very well, very well.
Excellent. You've just come back from a Caribbean cruise?
I have, yes.
Fantastic. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, most of you may know that Barbados is one of my favourite destinations in the entire world. I absolutely love going there. I feel it's a home from home. Why is it? It's the people that make it. They are absolutely so welcoming. There's some great hotels in Barbados. Our personal favourite is Beach View Hotel in St James, right across the road from the cliff. But there's also some fantastic scenery. Considering Barbados is only 21 miles by 14 miles wide, there is so much to do on such a small island. From the east coast, where you've got the Atlantic surf and the Atlantic waves, to the west coast that's more protected, real lush Caribbean seas, very calm, loads of golden sand there, some great beaches, but also the restaurants. There's some unbelievable restaurants and places to eat in Barbados. Some of our favourite restaurants in the world are in Barbados. So what a great place before or after a cruise, a pre or post stay. So yeah, I'd thoroughly recommend Barbados. I'm always here. I always love talking about Barbados, and we've had some absolutely wonderful times as a family over there. So Jason, you've just returned from the Caribbean.
Yes, we have,
You've
yes.
been on a cruise on Explora One
Yes.
by the new cruise line Explora Journeys, ultra luxury cruise line. They're going from one ship currently to 6 ships by 2028. I know you've had a fantastic experience. We covered that off in episode 4 for people who want to see some more details. But just tell us a little bit about the ports of call that you visited and what you enjoyed the most.
So we started in your favourite place in Barbados. We then sailed to Saint Pierre, which is French-speaking island. That was absolutely fantastic. Lots of fresh produce, fresh markets. Literally, as soon as you get into port, we tendered in. So it was fantastic riding. And then we went through the little markets. There's some absolutely stunning beaches. It's more of a volcanic island, so quite dark beaches, but still some fantastic scenery. We then moved through to St Kitts, which was again absolutely beautiful. And knowing St Kitts, our other cruise connoisseur, Catherine, they hired a car for a day and went up through some of the rainforests. There's actually more monkeys on the island of St Kitts than there is people, I believe,
Really?
which is what one of the locals told us.
Uh-huh.
So they had some fantastic experiences while up in the rainforests. We then moved on through to our other days, which was Samana, which is the Dominican Republic. It's a much less used port, so it's only for the smaller ships, which I know Explora Journeys is, and I know you've been Emerald Azura, which is, again, smaller ship. You can reach these really niche destinations that the bigger ships just can't offer. But yeah, Samana was absolutely brilliant, up and coming, I would say. There's a lot of construction going on, I think, in years to come. Be a very, very popular destination for people.
Good. Any other ports of call that you sailed to?
Yeah, so the last one was Ocean Cay, which is in the Bahamas. That's MSC's own private island. I know we covered that a little bit in episode 4, but that was absolutely fantastic. That used to be a sand mine, believe it or not, and it was then disused. So MSC have purchased the island, and they've fully redone the island.
Yeah.
Just to accommodate guests of MSC and Explora Journeys, which they are a part of.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I like about Caribbean cruising is just the opportunity to, constantly be in the sun.
Yes.
It's a really nice temperature, the Caribbean as well. For me, it doesn't get overwhelming. It's always between 29 to 31 degrees, certainly in Barbados. So it's always nice year round there. You do get a little bit of rain. It is a tropical atmosphere usually, but the rain usually 10, 15 minutes a day. Yeah. It comes down, it's done. That's why it tends to be so green, the Caribbean islands. But what was your favourite part of the Caribbean? How would you sum it up?
For me, one of the highlights was we had a bit of jet lag when we arrived into Barbados, so we were up at 5:30 on our first morning, which was at down on the beach. We took a little wander, and there was the most stunning rainbow I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
And that was one of the things of our journey, was kind of spotting rainbows. So again, when we docked into Saint Pierre early morning, there'd just been a little shower and then the rainbow afterwards. But I think that was highlights, as well as the whales when we were coming out of the port in Samana.
Right.
There was whales literally right next to the ship, which
Amazing.
again is one of the highlights of Caribbean and Bahama sailings,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, the early mornings. I think it is conducive to getting up early in the morning. The
Yeah.
Caribbean, and one thing again you do get in Barbados and other Caribbean islands is absolutely majestic sunsets as well.
Yes.
And one thing to note in Barbados is the locals actually go down on the west coast, down to the sea, and sunbathe at sunset and just give it time, you know, a bit of time for reflection each day, which
Yeah.
I think's you know, a really good thing to do as
Mhm.
well. So, and one other place we went to earlier, well, late last year actually, was on Emerald de Jura, a small yacht, looks like a billionaire's yacht, holds less than 100 people, around about 100 staff, and we set off from Barbados and we went to the Grenadines, and for 7 nights we just bobbed around the islands of the Grenadines, and it was absolutely fantastic, a completely different Caribbean cruising experience. We only saw two cruise ships in a week, but for the first time ever, I started snorkeling.
Oh wow.
I think in a week I went snorkeling 5 times, which is unlike me. I'm not a big fan of the sea, to be perfectly honest, even though I've been working in cruise for you know, over 20 years. But I'm not a massive fan of the sea. But I really took to snorkeling because Emerald de Jura, because she's such a small yacht, can go right into the beach. Literally, you just get the tender to the beach, and you do a little bit of snorkeling,
Yeah.
and then just get back on, and there's no big fuss. There's no need to dock in a big harbour or anything like that. You can just do it really easy.
I think
Uh,
that is one of the things with the Caribbean, is real destination immersion.
yeah,
It's a perfect place to try things you've never done before,
yeah,
and things that you probably won't experience again, one-off things that appear to you on the day. Like you say, you never really took up snorkeling, but that's what you've done. Catherine did the ride up through the rainforest.
yeah.
It's something that on that morning you'd never think of doing that day potentially, and it's something new, isn't it?
No, and the great thing about cruising as well, of course, you go back to your luxury or
Yes.
ultra
Yeah,
luxury small ship, and there's some fantastic food waiting for you,
of course, yes.
and usually there's a lot of local produce as well, because the cruise lines do what they can to
Yeah.
support the local communities. And you know, I was speaking to Paul, who's the executive chef on board Emerald de Jura, and he was going off to markets in Barbados to actually buy local produce, so customers could enjoy it on the ship. So that was another
Yeah.
great experience from cruising in the Caribbean. So yeah, it's been great talking to you though, Jason.
Fantastic. It's been brilliant.
Anything else you'd finish off with?
I'd just say with Explora Journeys and certainly Emerald Azura, these much smaller ships do lend themselves better to Caribbean destinations.
Yeah,
There's certainly ports of call that you would have done that the mainstream larger ships couldn't dock at those ports. The same with the Explora Journey ship.
yeah,
I feel like the amount of outdoor space you get per person,
yeah.
you've got lovely views. You've got that space to enjoy them with you, your partner, or you and your family. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Well,
with the small yachts as well, take Emerald de Jura as an example, the captain has a lot more autonomy as well,
yeah,
so,
of
and
course.
a little bit more freedom. So they've got an open bridge policy, and literally you can go up to the bridge virtually any time, day or night. And if the captain's there, he'll actually brew up for you, and you
Oh,
can have a
brilliant.
coffee with him. So that was a really good experience. And again, just one night, it looked like it was a little bit choppy out of the protection of the natural harbour. So we were only going about 5 or 6 nautical miles away, and the captain just came over the tannoy and said, "We'll just stay here tonight. We'll do that
That's
little
ideal,
journey
isn't
in
it?
the
Yeah,
morning." So a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more
yeah,
freedom to do what's right for the customers.
of
So,
course.
but Jason, thanks very much
No
for
problem.
joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you've enjoyed it.